coaching and understanding your values. Hi, it's Ruth Kudzi, founder of Optimus Coach Academy and Ruth Kudzi Coaching Limited. I am passionate about helping people live the lives they want to live on their terms through supporting people to train and develop as coaches and supporting people in my coaching business to build and grow their businesses. When you ask somebody, what are your values? You normally get quite a similar list. The amount of people who've said to me, integrity, compassion, collaboration. However, it's very, very easy to say words. It's very easy to do a values exercise where you've got a list of different values that you pick and you identify the words that you believe you'd either like to have or are desirable, and therefore you get your list of values. Oh great, look at my list. I've got integrity, I'm honest, I'm transparent, I'm truthful, I'm trustful, I'm a great team player, I'm collaborative. So it's very easy when people are doing these lists or activities for people to decide what they want to be rather than being honest about who they are. And I would say that this comes up a lot in coaching because people often want to please their coach, and it's something you have to look for in contracting, codependency, building relationships, because as a coach, you are not there to judge the person in front of you. So if you're feeling that your client is trying to people please you, then it's worth exploring with them. Equally, the values that we think we have and this idea that values are fixed is not true. So first of all, the values that we think we have may not be our true values because we often pick those ones that, have that desirability effect. We often pick the ones that maybe stand out more to us, and we might pick the ones that we think we would like to be. So I'm going to talk about some different ways that we can look at actually what your values are and how we can coach around them. What I would say too is that there seems to be this idea that values can't change. And I'd like you to take a moment and think about yourself over the last 20, 30, 40 years, depending how old you are, and ask yourself, are your values, are the core things that are important to you, have they changed over time? Because I know that mine have. Because some of the things that were my values have slightly evolved and shifted. And of course, some things have stayed the same. But this idea that we're always fixed is limiting. And we know that we can always build new neural pathways. We can always change the way that we think, feel, and act. So why can't we change our values? So there's a great exercise from John DeMartini around values, and it is one of my favorites. Values are not the words that we say. Values are not the words that we say. Anybody can say, I've got integrity. Values are how you act. And that is what is really important. Now, one of the exercises that he has around values is talking around how you actually spend your time. Because how you spend your time is a good representation of your values. And how you spend your money can be as well. So consider this. Consider, and like any method, there may be flaws, but consider, how are you spending your time? And what values is that demonstrating? And how are you spending your money? And what values is that demonstrating? Because it's really interesting to see that congruence or lack of congruence between what you feel your values are, how you're spending your time, how you're spending your money. And this is an interesting place to explore because we may be spending our time doing things and we may be building resentment. We often get, as coaches, people coming for career coaching, leadership coaching, transition coaching, transformational coaching, who've been in jobs for years and years and years. And actually, although they're spending lots of their time doing this job, maybe it's meeting a value of, safety because they're earning the money. However, it's not actually meeting some of their core values, so they're feeling this disconnect. And so I would say that the way that we spend our time doesn't always demonstrate what our values are, but the way that we feel about how we spend our time. and the congruence between the person that we want to be and the person that we currently are being, again, gives us clues. And all of this as coaches is about helping our clients explore those clues. So, okay, if you've got a client that comes to you and they say, one of the things that's really important to me is family, but they're working 80 hours a week and they're not seeing their family. Okay, so what's going on there? Now, it's very easy to judge, isn't it, that working 80 hours a week, well, that means that family isn't important. But there's always more than one perspective, isn't there? And maybe this person's working 80 hours a week because actually the way that they're showing that family is important for them is by providing and making sure that people feel safe and secure. And this is why I think it's always interesting to explore. Now, they may be feeling disconnect around this, but they may not know a different way. Okay, so what is going on here? Where are you feeling that disconnect or that connect to your values? Where are you feeling, like, what's underneath it? Like, okay, if you say that your core value is family, what does that mean? What else is going on? How are you demonstrating this? How would you like to demonstrate this? So interrogating what people are saying, helping them look at the big picture. Not only what they say, how they act, how they feel about how they act. And also, as always, coaching is forward focused, supporting our clients to think about that person that they want to become, the identity that they want to create, and what values are congruent with that. We say that people who operate from their values, it doesn't matter if they change their mind, but we seem to therefore determine that they need to keep the same values. But as we evolve, our values can evolve, and our interpretation of them too. As coaches, it's about the richness that is with our clients. What really is important to them? What are they thinking they need to be or do which isn't as important to them? How can we support our clients to live a life where they feel congruence, where they're not feeling resistance? When are they at a point where they're able to operate from values? And this is my last point. It's such, I'm sitting in my lovely house doing my YouTube videos. It's very easy for me to say, live a life consistent with your values. But what we're not appreciating is context. So everybody is in a different environment, a different system with a different context. And before we get to values, we have to make sure that we all operate from a place of needs. We have a drive, motivation to get our needs met. We need to eat, we need shelter, we need safety. So if you're in the middle of a war zone, you're not going to be thinking, oh, well, how is this linking to my value of integrity? You're going to be operating from that place of, how am I going to stay safe? How am I going to get food? Those basic needs need to be met first before we can get into values work. And it's something that actually lots of people don't appreciate. So again, when we're looking at that person who works 80 hours a week, who says a values family, maybe they feel or they need to be working that to bring in the income. I would say it's probably a feel that they need to, but again, exploring that. What is really going on there? The more that we have these conversations with our clients, the more that we get under the lid and go into under the car bonnet and look at all of the different pieces, the more that we can support them to make lasting change. So values are not what you say. Values are what you do. And you can change those values. You can change any element of you. But this requires honesty. It requires doing that deep work and going to those hard questions, which is why it's great to do with a coach. I hope you found this useful. If you want to find out more, click up here. And remember, if you like our videos, subscribe, like, and share. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, I'd like you to like and subscribe. And remember to keep abreast of all of our new videos. Just ring that bell and you'll be notified when any new ones come out. And We'd love to hear feedback from you. So if you'd like to post beneath your biggest takeaway, and equally anything that you'd like to hear me talk about, we're always open to feedback.